Now the great turnover starts. As of right now, for a lot of people are starting to see for the first time, the release of the second trailer for the Green Lanterns TV show has started hitting the algorithm, starting hitting YouTube, Twitter, and all those great places. And of course, people are starting to give it its praise because we now finally got a little bit of verde in our trailers because the last one was a little bit lacking in that department. Now, I didn't talk about the last trailer because I saw a lot of people clowning it for reasons that I felt like was a little bit too unjust, because a lot of people were complaining that, oh, why does Hal Jordan not fly without any green around him? Green Lanterns don't need to fly with green around them. That's just a thing. They can fly with the ring on regardless. And the fact that there's a lack of green. Now, I will say that it was a little bit of a interesting choice not to give any green in the first trailer on purpose, but now they understand. They were like, okay, people have been clowning us enough. They clowned us the first time. Let's give them the green. Okay, fine. Now, this is just me talking about the trailer, my reactions, and my predictions of what's going to happen in the series. Because I believe they might be doing some good, but I still have a little bit of a tad bit of gripes with it. Because Green Lanterns, I love the Green Lanterns. I love Hal Jordan. I love Jon Stewart. I love Kyle Rayner. I love a lot of the Green Lanterns in the animated series, sometimes in the comics also. So I want this show to succeed, especially after the verse. We started out with Superman. They already revealed that Guy Gardner is going to be in the TV show at some point, and I believe that's a really great choice, but I'm going to talk about it in a sec. But I'll give them credit from the very beginning. They already showing off the Green Lantern. But I'll give them credit from the very beginning. They already showed off the Green Lantern ring and how some of them look in their suits. And this is probably the only major gripe that I have, because you see Hal Jordan in his green suit, but it doesn't look like a suit. It still looks like something that he has to like put on, and it looks kind of brown and kind of still dusty. I get it's supposed to meet the aesthetic of the world that they're in right now, because it looks like it's supposed to be some kind of mystery western a little bit, because they had cowboys in this trailer. But on top of that, I was wondering why he doesn't, like, I don't know, transform into the suit, because it's supposed to be a construct. And they gave a little bit of a gag that, you know, how Jordan was able to construct money, and he was going to use that for, you know, the jukebox or something like that in the beginning of the trailer. Now, I do not know if that is possible, and I don't think it's possible because it's a construct. I'm pretty sure the machine is not going to accept it because, you know, energy doesn't have the markers of real money. But I get it, it's supposed to be kind of a gag, and this is clearly going to be a slightly different characterization of Hal Jordan. I'll be for real, they are doing something that I am gonna give them praise for, because our first iteration of Green Lantern was Guy Gardner, a Green Lantern that isn't very well received in the majority of the canon. A lot of people are not big fans of Guy Gardner. Very rarely you're going to hear someone say, oh, I love Guy Gardner. But we got our boy Nathan Fillion playing Guy Gardner, and he's been playing the role pretty well. And since we have that characterization of Green Lantern, we get to see different characterizations of the other Green Lanterns like Hal Jordan. And in this Hal Jordan, we seem like he has this kind of jaded look to himself, like he's kind of gone through war kind of thing. Like he's not exactly having that kind of relatively jovial personality, and I'm trying to keep it away from the adaptation they have in like the cartoons or the TV shows, because he's a little bit more of like a wisecracking guy. He's not, you know, quippy, but he's a little bit more of an arrogant guy. But it seems like they're going the route where he's a little bit more on the, like, he has the arrogance to him, but he's not exactly trying to be jovial, goofy, jokey, because right now they have Aaron Pierre being Jon Stewart, and Jon Stewart, his characterization is pretty much the same. He's like old school military guy, you know, stoic, pretty firm. And even though when he became a Green Lantern, he wasn't asking for it, because similar backstory for a lot of different people. I think an alien died or somebody died and he had to get the ring afterwards. So I am wondering if they're going to kill Hal Jordan in this series to make it possible for him to actually get the Green Lantern ring after that, because I believe you can give up the ring. I actually do not fully remember if that's possible, but I believe it's possible for you to give up the Green Lantern ring because you have no interest in doing it and pass ownership to somebody else. But usually a lot of the times when a Green Lantern dies, that's when they start finding a new owner. So I don't know if they're going to kill him off. That's what I'm expecting, or that's what I'm seeing. That's what it feels like to me personally, but we'll find out when this series actually drops, because that's what it seems like. But I am going to give them credit a little bit more here also. It seems like they're actually including some form of sci-fi in the series, because one of the biggest gripes that a lot of comic book fans and even TV show fans and movie fans have when it comes to Green Lanterns is that it literally tries to stay on Earth way too much. Now, they are still on Earth, so I am going to, wait and see what they have to show, but we're seeing, clips of space. We're seeing someone falling down, like a yellow beam. I'm assuming someone flying down. I'm hoping it's a yellow lantern. It could be Sinestro. That could be a fire thing. So that way we can actually connect to space, and maybe at the end of the season, we can go into space, or closer to the end of the season, we go into space. And then next season after that, if they continue the series, we can get more information about what's going on outside of the world, and they have like their own storyline in space. That is what I hope. That is all I hope. But it seems like there is going to be some form of sci-fi-esque mystery going to be involved, since they showed off some pieces of tech that seems to be space adjacent, and also Jon Stewart seems to be running around facing off against different people. So I'm assuming the cowboys in this series are supposed to be, I don't know, like aliens pretending to be cowboys. That's what I'm assuming that we're going for, because they like to do the comparison in a lot of different movies and TV shows with cowboys and aliens. There has to be that juxtaposition or that counteraction. So I'm assuming that's what they're doing. I don't know, that's what it looks like to me. But one thing I am going to be curious about, how much of a role that Guy Gardner is actually going to play in this series, because he's already we already know that Nathan's pretty solid. He's been playing Green Lantern for years. He's only played Hal Jordan mainly, but he's been playing, Green Lantern for years in the animated series. So him playing, Guy Gardner, we're going to see a different side to what he wants to do for the character. And for all we know, they might actually add a little bit more depth to him, because there's a little bit more depth to Guy Gardner's story, because he is an ass because of, not to a fault of his own in the official canon. So I'm wondering if they're going to ever, include that, because mind you, one of the reasons why he's an ass is because he lost his memories. He had, I think, a disease, and it messed with his memories, so he doesn't remember a lot of his past life, and it kind of changed his personality. So when he became a Green Lantern, that was what he was when he was running around as a Green Lantern. But I still wonder how they're going to end the series. Like, I understand how they might start, because the starting, I can pretty sure see it clearly. They're going to be going towards, the route of having them deal with earthly threats. So they might believe that there's some aliens on Earth pretending to be cowboys, pretending to be people. So they're trying to expose them, and they're trying to go around, and they're trying to stop them in some capacity, because Green Lanterns are space cops, so it's not out of the wheelhouse for them to do something like that. But I am hoping at the end, since they're kind of teasing some sci-fi, so I'm hoping they lean into it at the latter end of the season. They actually show that they're facing off with either maybe a Yellow Lantern or another space threat, something. I don't know. I want to see a bigger conclusion to the series, because so far in this trailer they're only showing bits and pieces, like a little bit of backstory for Jon Stewart, how he's talking to Hal Jordan, what he was going through when he was a military man. They're trying to blend the timelines together for them, because in the official canon, Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan doesn't really meet each other until much later, because Hal Jordan would be older, Jon Stewart was a little bit younger, and then when Hal Jordan dies, I believe that's when he gets the ring. But there are times when they both had Green Lantern rings, so I'm not, whatever the case may be, this is just me speculating the whole time. This is all just straight speculation. But I expect to see a lot of people start to switch up now, saying that oh yeah, this season's gonna look good, the trailer's looking better, now we're hyped for the show, after clouding it after the first time. Which, don't get me wrong, they had some valid criticisms about how the show looks, because I do believe that some of the suits still kind of bug me, but maybe they might improve it when it's closer to release. So I'm going to hope to everything that it actually looks better. Maybe I'm just a little bit too critical of it, because I'm just so used to the bright green look of Green Lanterns, because I don't want, say, Sinestro to pull up in the series and he's not in a bright yellow suit. I don't want to see that. I want to see him in that, construct. It looks like it's made from the will of his ring, and it looks like it's made from his mindset, his body, all that kind of stuff. It's supposed to be a green suit, and it kind of looks like armor, which it's not wrong, but I just personally not a big fan of how it looks. But so far, you have my intrigue. I just need a little bit more information. Maybe we'll see when closer to release. I don't know. Usually, I think a lot of these shows, they release, 3 trailers. I don't know if they're going to drop a third one closer to August. But this is the second one, and most likely it's gonna be down because it's gonna be releasing in August in like the next 3 months. So most likely it's gonna be, you know, this is like the last trailer, and then it's gonna start showing when it releases. But yeah, let me know what you guys feel about the Green Lanterns trailer. Do you guys think that this is gonna be a peak show? Do you think it's gonna be better? Do you think that they're actually gonna go a decent route? Do you think the story's gonna be fire? What do you think they should add to the story? Should they include like other lanterns, like maybe a red lantern, maybe like a, you know, a little bit of a blue lantern? Like, what teases do you want to see? Because there's so much that they can do with the Green Lantern franchise, and if it's going to connect to the movies, I'm going to hope that it is well done, because I want a good DC universe. I promise you, I just want a really good DC universe right now, because I've been craving for some DC content. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe for other videos just like this. He's your boy Kadukun. I'll see you guys next time, and peace.
FMA, handle business, don't play. On point when it comes to the anime. Jack and Daxter, ayy, let's go. The ultimate heroes, don't stop, we on the road. Kadukun.
Yeah, welcome to the channel.